On October the 20th, 2011, the Basque terrorist group ETA announced it would no longer use violence as a means to achieve independence for the Spanish Basque country. The declaration followed over 40 years of terror attacks that killed more than 850 people. Joining me in the studio is Euronews Deputy Editor-in-Chief Javier Villa-García, who covered the conflict in the Basque country for many years. Javier, you were there. What was it like on that landmark day for Spanish history?
Well, that day was one of the days that we were waiting for many, many years. And when I'm saying we're waiting for is the Basque country, Spain, and also Europe, because this was one of the main, the last terrorist groups operational in the continent. An armed group that was born in the 60s under Franco dictatorship, and at that time it was kind of considered with a lot of legitimacy. But once the democracy was settled in Spain, they didn't see any legitimacy for this group. So it lasted for 40, 50 years, inflicting pain and suffering to the whole Basque and Spanish society.
So a great deal of emotion in Spain on that day. What were the reactions from society and from politicians?
I had the chance to travel to the Basque country the day after the announcement to cover the reactions, and I can show you one of the newspapers, El Diario Vasco, saying like this is a day of hope. There was mixed feelings because it wasn't exactly happiness, because there was fear still, and also there wasn't and there was sadness too because of all the pain inflicted to the society. And among the politicians, there was a relief because most of the security was abandoned because there wasn't any more threats on most of the politicians.
So that was 10 years ago, but earlier this week, ETA leader Arnaldo Otegi said he regretted those decades of violence. Where does the Basque country stand now, 10 years on?
Arnaldo Otegi, as you said, regretted. He said that was a step forward, according to for many politicians and for victims of the terrorism. Regretted, but they're expecting more. They want Arnaldo Otegi to give a formal apology, and also the victims of terrorism. They're asking the supporters of the independentism and the ETA to stop doing these welcoming ceremonies to the prisoners of former ETA members now that they get out of the prison, because they think that this is inflicting more pain to them. And now the big battle is how to write the history. Who's going to write the history of what happened? For the independentists, this was kind of like a battle between the freedom fighters and the state of Spain. But for the rest of the historians and politicians, so this was a terrorist group that was defeated by a democratic state.
So Javier Villa-García, thanks so much for coming to the studio today.
Thank you.